107.9 FM, WWPH, Princeton Junction. We're back in the Pirates Cove. First time in a long time, but we're super happy to be here. Julian Morgan here alongside Eliana H as the West Windsor Plainsboro High School South Pirates prepare to take on the Trenton Tornadoes. Julian Morgan here alongside Eliana H. Eliana, last time out was senior night for South. Unfortunately, they took a loss to Princeton Day School, but this is their last game of the regular season before they go on to Mercer County tournaments, where they're going to play PDS again. So a big opportunity for South here, lots of momentum on the line, and an opportunity for South to really salvage the last part of their season before they go into tournament play.
Absolutely. It's really exciting for South, especially because Trenton has had not quite as strong of a season as they've had in past years. So they really do have a good chance today so far in their 7-14 season versus Trenton's 5-16. So very exciting. Looking forward for definitely some good playing. We've seen good games in both the freshman and junior varsity games. You know, everyone's playing super hard today, so definitely looking forward to what's going to happen today.
Play just about to begin here, but before we get to there, a couple other things that are happening today here at South. Well, there's a wrestling senior night going on at over in the other gym. Actually, the South wrestling team just took the victory, so big win for them. And there's also a couple of cultural festivals. I believe the African American Awareness Club is having a little dance festival over in the South as well. They're selling food, so lots of fun happening at South today. Lots of opportunities and just a lot of community. Like, that sense of community is always huge. So we might see, spectators from this side or this side coming over to the game now, so that they can see just exactly what South can do here in this last game prior to MCT starting.
Yeah, so right as we're getting ready for, the national anthem, the start of the game and everything, yeah, we're going to get started with that right now.
Yeah, national anthem. We'll be right back on the home of all WWP Sports, 107.9 FM, WWPH. Game time just about underway here at the Pirates Cove. And taking a look at the Trenton Tornadoes a little bit. They were 26-2 last year. They went to the state semifinals before they lost. However, this year they're 5-16. They've had a rough year, headed by 6 of their seniors from last year graduating. Their best junior as well, Cabrian Goss, transferred to Roman Catholic, the school in Pennsylvania. So he's no longer on the team either. So a lot of inexperienced guys. But as we see the starting lineup for the Tornadoes now, Thomas Munoz, Keyshawn Wharton are the first two called, alongside Juan Sanchez, who was just called. Sanchez, one of those smaller guys, but a guy who is really good, really gritty, gets a lot of those rebounds. Alongside Quadir Dixon, he's also in that starting lineup. And then rounding up that starting lineup is Marquise Dowling, 6'7", easily the tallest guy that South has seen all year. And he's going to make a big impact here as a senior on the floor.
Absolutely. Now we're going to get started with the High School South lineup today. So first coming up, we are going to see, some different. All right. First up, we have Cameron Jones. He's a guard and a junior. He has improved a lot over the season. Obviously, this is not his first year on varsity, but he's been doing really good. Next up, we have another junior. We have Kokanav Ramasamy, also a guard, also a junior. and again, has been very strong, something that the Pirates have relied on throughout the season. Next up, we have yet another junior, again, junior heavy team, Josiah Curtin, another guard as well. And right after that, we have a younger player, which is Blake Amos Whitfield. He's a sophomore, and we're starting off with our guards today. Now we have Prentice Crossland, who is a forward and a senior, very important player, and he is back on the court after being off for a little bit, and that will wrap up our roster for beginning the game today.
Crossland suffered from an ankle injury for a couple of games, didn't even play in the North-South game, so it's been a while since he's been back. And having him healthy, he looked great in warm-ups. Having him healthy is going to be a huge, possibly turning point for this South team. They have a big opportunity to win tonight. And with Crossland back on the floor, he and Cameron Jones like to do a lot of 1-2 man action in that backcourt. So with that being basically fully redeemed, South has their chemistry back. They have their play back. They have an opportunity to win today and go at Princeton Day on Monday with an opportunity to continue to further themselves in Mercer County tournaments. So, speaking of Quintus Crossland, we've got him lining up alongside that 6'7" Dowling at that logo. That's how we're going to kick off this game once tip-off begins. Still waiting on the ref to head to that logo and kick off the game, but that's how it's going to start once all the players are ready. And now it looks like the ref is, still a little bit of conversing happening before this game gets underway. You hear the crowd starting to get into it a little bit, and now the ref makes his way to the logo as he gets ready for the tip-off. So we've got 32 minutes of basketball action ahead of us. Tip is up and won by Dowling, but it goes to Amos Whitfield on that right side. He gives it right back to Quintus Crossland, who cuts through that paint and lays it up. So tip won by Dowling. South able to recover, and it's a 2-0 game with 7 minutes and 47 seconds left here in this first quarter. Here's Thomas Munoz, top of the key. Gives it over to Kadir Dixon. Left wing three, no good, and a rebound by Cameron Jones. Long outlet pass to Blake Amos Whitfield on the right side of the paint. He converts as well, so a strong start from South. 4-0 here with 7.5 minutes left in this first quarter.
Yeah, we're all seeing a lot already. South isn't necessarily known to get that. Obviously, they didn't get the tip off, but to get that immediately. So it's really impressive what we're seeing so far.
Quick answer from Keyshawn Worthen as he made a right elbow shot. But then on the other side, here comes Quintus Crossland with a layup on that left side. So a 6-2 game now as we're seeing a trading of blows early on. Juan Sanchez dribbling it now past midcourt. Dishes it over to the right side where Thomas Munoz waits on that wing. Passes it in to Wharton. He went up for the shot, could not convert, but a whistle called. Looks like Keyshawn Worthen's going to go to the line for the first 2 free throws of today's game.
Yes. So, as we're preparing for that, again, we can already see Quintus Crossland really proving what he's worth to this team. Again, as one of the few one of the few seniors, he's going to be super important, and obviously he's scored 2 of the shots so far today.
Worthen does not make his first, so still a 6-2 game here with 6 minutes and 59 seconds left here in this first quarter. Worthen now looking to go up for a second as already a substitution is made. Rasheed Barlow comes in as Marquise Dowling comes off. It's very possible that they just put Dowling in for that tip-off as Worthen misses a second as well. Rebound, though, by Barlow. Dishes it back to Worthen. Long layup, no good. Should I say high arcing layup, no good. But here comes Quintus Crossland coming past the logo, now at that right wing. Going to dribble to his right, going to try and drive, being double teamed, looking for someone to give it to. Bounces it back to Amos Whitfield, but the pass is intercepted by Munoz, and he's got it now with 6 minutes and 35 seconds left. Munoz, top of the key, dribbles to his right on Curatone, goes up for the layup. It's short, though. Rebound, Crossland. Possibly thought about a long outlet to Ramasamy, but the ball gets tipped away. Ball tipped away now twice. Backcourt violation called on Josiah Curiton as he was trying to recover that ball. So the Tornadoes are going to get it back 6-2. South leads, 6 minutes, 25 seconds left in this first quarter.
Yeah, we're going to have to definitely look out for, the fouls and different stuff like that, especially in this game, because that is something South has had trouble with in the past. So making sure that that doesn't ruin any part of the game for them.
After a first minute of lots of offense, we've had a good amount of defense. And another example here, as a whistle's called on Trenton, looked like a travel. So the ball's going to go back to South. Quintus Crossland to inbound it with 6 minutes and 17 seconds left. Going to have to go the full length of the court because the turnover was committed on the Tornadoes' offensive side of the ball. So here comes Cameron Jones on the left side, still on the backcourt, now making a move on Barlow, going up to the rim himself, can't convert on the shot. Amos Whitfield, though, on the left side of the paint is there for the putback and converts, which makes it an 8-2 game for the Pirates. Here, though, is Juan Sanchez, gives it over to Kadir Dixon, right wing. Sanchez, top of the key, waits, 5 minutes, 55 seconds left here in this first quarter. Directs traffic a little bit, now dribbles to his right. Puts up a three, no good though from the wing, and a rebound by Crossland. 5 minutes, 43 seconds left in this first quarter. Crossland dribbling behind him, and now at that left wing, giving it over to Keraton, left corner. He drives, he goes up, layup though with the right hand, can't convert. Rebound, and now a long outlet pass to Keyshawn Wharton. And as he looked to go up for the layup, the ball was tipped. There's a whistle. Still waiting on word on who that ball is going to be. And still waiting. Looks like the ball is going to go to... It's going to go to Trenton. So Trenton's going to keep possession of the ball in their own offensive zone. 5.5 minutes left here in this first quarter. It's going to be Wharton to inbound it. He gives it... he actually goes up for the layup himself and can't convert. Here comes Cameron Jones. He's going to cut through the entire defense himself. Went up for the layup, but was blocked from behind by Kadir Dixon. Here comes Thomas Munoz, and he puts in the layup from that right side. So, a lot of back and forth action, and it ends in a Trenton point. And now, Keyshawn Wharton just deflected a long outlet pass over to Quintus Crossland from Cameron Jones. So the ball is going to stay with the Pirates, but a nice piece of defense there from Wharton, right in front of us. It's going to be Crossland to inbound it. 5 minutes, 9 seconds left here in this first quarter. Here's Ramasamy, left side of the paint. Nice behind the back bounce pass to Crossland. Went up for the layup, converted on the layup, drew the foul as well. 10-4 Pirates lead, and Quintus Crossland is going to go to the line with an opportunity to make it an 11-4 game.
And like we have seen a lot of Kadir Dixon so far this game, and he is such a strong player for the Trenton Tornadoes. When it comes to 2-pointers and rebounds, he is remaining in the top 3 players on the team, and you know he's one of the really important juniors for Trenton.
Crossland misses his free throw, and now a right wing 3 from Kadir Dixon is no good. Whistle as the ball was loose as Quintus Crossland, fell down. So word looks like yes, the ball is going to go back to the Pirates, and still waiting on that ball to be inbounded. Going to be Crossland to inbound it once play resumes. 4 minutes, 56 seconds left here in this first quarter, and a 10-4 game for the Pirates. Cameron Jones takes it up. Did a little bit of communication there with Crossland. Still yet to pass the half-court line. Now he does so. Here comes Crossland, and a whistle blown as Cameron Jones is passing that mid-court line. It's going to be a foul on Rasheed Barlow. Here is sideline reporter Daniyal F with an update.
Pirates are starting off with a strong offense. Quintus Crossland leading with the ball to gather points and block Trenton's shots. Coach Shiro following along, making call-outs and calling positions for each player. The Pirates have been quick on their feet, trying to take the ball as fast as possible, and it seems to be working out for them. Back to you, Julian.
Thanks, Danielle. Blake Amos Whitfield just converted on a 3 to make it a 13-4 game with 4.5 minutes left in this first quarter. As now Juan Sanchez at the logo, dribbling a couple times, guarded closely by Amos Whitfield. Still can't find anywhere to go. Now bounces it to Munoz, left wing. He takes a couple steps back and now gives it to Rasheed Barlow, who passes it over to Iva Ingram, who we're seeing for the first time today. He's at the top of the key, directing traffic a little bit, dribbling to his right and dumping it off to Juan Sanchez. Back to Barlow at the top of the key, hands it off to Dixon. He goes up from the right side, can't convert on the layup, but a whistle blown. Looks like it's going to be a shooting foul on South, waiting on word for that. And now 4 minutes and 2 seconds left in this first quarter, 13-4, Pirates lead.
Yeah, just a little on Juan Sanchez. Again, he is a sophomore, so he is one of the younger people on the Tornadoes. And even though he definitely holds his own. Again, he's very well-rounded, and similar to a lot of these top players, he's in the top 3 in a lot of different areas. So even when they have a specific place that they're the best at, they are definitely very well-rounded and are able to do multiple different things in the game.
So Kadir Dixon is at the line. He just converted on his first free throw. So it's a 13-5 game now as he looks for his second. Dribbles a couple times with his right hand before he takes a deep exhale. Goes up for his second free throw and converts it. So 2 for 2 is Kadir Dixon, makes it a 13-6 game with 4 minutes and 2 seconds left. And now Trenton full court pressing as well. Here comes Cameron Jones dribbling to his right, and he's going to go up his entire way. Now tries to dump it off to Ramasamy, who is waiting on that left side of the paint, waiting for that layup. Ramasamy, though, could not corral the pass. Actually claps his hands in anger after he couldn't do so. So the ball turned over by South. off the hands of Coconut Ramaswamy. Back to the Tornadoes, 13-6, 3 minutes and 48 seconds left in this first quarter.
Yeah, and we've seen a lot of decent defense from South, although they will need to make sure that all of these passes are good. We've seen a couple of long passes so early in the game, so that's going to be important for the Pirates to watch.
Here comes Quintus Crossland after Kadir Dixon couldn't convert on a left elbow shot. Double teamed and ball loose, now recovered by Crossland. He gives it to Blake Amos Whitfield. Right side makes a mid-range shot to make it a 15-6 game. So a lot of chaos there, but it ends in South points. 15-6, 3 minutes, 17 seconds left. Here's Kadir Dixon, top of the key. Pivots once with his right foot and dumps it off to Thomas Munoz, who's back at the logo. 3 minutes, 10 seconds remaining in this first quarter. Now dribbling a couple times, guarded by Josiah Keratin. Puts up a right wing three, can't convert though. Ball looks like it went off the hands of Kadir Dixon and out of bounds. So if that is correct, then South will get the ball back, and it looks like they will not. So it will actually stay with Trenton. Ball must have gone off of somebody after it corralled off of Dixon. So it's going to be Juan Sanchez to inbound it. He does so to Ingram. Right elbow, can't convert though on the shot. Long rebound by Crossland, passes it to Ramasamy. He tried to give it over to Keratin, who was waiting on the other side of the paint after a long outlet pass from Quintus Crossland. However, the ball went, did it go out of bounds? Yes, it did. So it's going to be inbounded. Actually, both teams still trying to figure out whether it's going to be a shooting foul or not. Now they are going to call it a shooting foul. So after at first it just being a turnover, now it's Josiah Keratin who's going to go to the line for South's second and third free throws of the day.
Yeah, and like we've said, Josiah Keratin is definitely a key player for South. He's been there the entire season. He's improved a lot throughout. So we'll talk more about him throughout the game, but he's definitely going to be important to recognize.
Keratin misses his first free throw, 2 minutes, 54 seconds left here in this first quarter. He goes up for his second and converts. So it's a 10-point game, 16-6 lead for South. Here comes Thomas Munoz crossing midcourt right now, dribbling between his legs a couple times, guarded closely by Keratin. Goes to his left after a pivot from Dixon, a screen from Dixon, excuse me. And now it's Juan Sanchez who has it at the top of the key. Tries to drive on the left side as he went up for the layup. Whistle blown, looks like a foul called. Coach Giro arguing for a travel. However, he will not be giving the ball back, so it is going to go to the Tornadoes. They're going to go up to the line for 2 shots. They've already missed both of their shots today, so not much conversion rate so far. However, they have an opportunity to do so here.
Yeah, and something the Tornadoes are definitely going to have to look out for is, Quintus Crossland with his rebounds so far. He has gotten a lot of rebounds, whether they've been easy or not. So that's something he's been good throughout the season, and especially in this game so far.
Sanchez missed his first, but converted his second, so a 16-7 game now with just over 2.5 minutes left in this first quarter. Jones over to Keratin, left wing, tried to drive, lost the ball, now dishes it out to Amos Whitfield. Right wing three, can't convert though, and a rebound from Dixon. Long outlet pass, almost intercepted by Amos Whitfield, however taken by Sanchez. He gives it to Kadir Dixon, who converts the easy layup and makes it a 16-9 game. 2 minutes and 13 seconds left. Almost a full court press from Trenton, but they're not guarding super closely. Cameron Jones passing the midcourt line, and as he tried to give it to Quintus Crossland, who was waiting in the paint, there was a whistle blown, and it looks like Quintus Crossland is going to go to the line for 2 shots.
Yeah, and again, with the height on Trenton, obviously Marquise Dowling is 6'7", but Kadir Dixon, who has done a lot so far in the game, he's gotten the ball. He is 6'2", which is definitely nothing short of impressive, especially compared to South's height throughout the team.
Kadir Dixon getting subbed out now as Keyshawn Worthen comes back in. He was a big player for Trenton when he was in for his first shift. And Quintus Crossland goes up for his second shot and converts that one as well. So now it's an 18-9 game with 2 minutes and 5 seconds left in this first quarter as Thomas Munoz dribbles it up and makes a move on Coco Ramasamy. Now dishes it to the right side where it's Juan Sanchez waiting. Now back over to the left wing. It's Munoz again. Here's Sanchez, left elbow, can't convert on the shot. He grabs his own rebound though, goes up, now dishes it back out, and Thomas Munoz has got it on the left side of the perimeter. He gives it into Worthen, puts up a shot from the free throw line, can't convert though, rebound Crossland. He's going up, he's got numbers. He goes up for the layup from the right side of the paint and converts, makes it a 20-9 game with 1 minute and 25 seconds remaining in this first quarter.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing a lot of running so far, very fast movement on the court, and good ball handling on both teams with very little getting out of bounds unless they're not able to complete their passes. That's been the one thing both teams have struggled on so far this year.
Juan Sanchez can't convert on his quarter three. It was rebounded by Ben Ashworth, who's in the game for South for the first time. Now Amos Whitfield, right corner three, is also off the mark. Tussle for the rebound. Ramasamy is able to recover it for the Pirates. Here's Jones dribbling back now towards the half-court line, looking for somewhere to go. Double teamed for a second. Now makes a move. Dishes it back out to Amos Whitfield. Another shot from the right corner. This time is blocked and rebounded by Trenton. Here's Thomas Munoz. Right wing three, no good, off the front of the rim, and a rebound by Cam Jones. He gives it over to Quintus Crossland on the other side. Now as he passes that half-court line, he tries to go up for the layup. He ends up getting stopped, and a whistle's blown. Still waiting on word on what the foul could be. It looks like it's gonna go to the Tornadoes. In the meantime, though, here's sideline reporter Daniyal F with another update.
Trenton's players are pushing for the strong shoots in defense, being able to block some of the Pirates' shots and take the ball out. Dr. Dixon were making repeated attempts for three-pointers, but can't seem to find an opening. He has scored a few layups, however. They've been just having trouble keeping up in some of the points. Back to you, Julian.
Thanks, Daniyal. 17 seconds remaining here. A 20-9 lead for the Pirates as Ingram puts up a right wing three, can't convert. And a rebound, ball went loose, recovered though by Sanchez. He gives it to Worthen. He's in the paint, tries to go up, can't convert on the layup though. And now another tussle. This one gets Roshan Senthil in the game for the Pirates, wrestled to the ground, and they're going to call the ball for the Pirates. So only 1.6 seconds left, an opportunity for South to get literally a last-second shot off before we head into the break between the first and second periods. It's Ben Ashworth who's not even going to try for the shot. He's going to let time run out. A successful first quarter, you would have to say, if you're South. A 20-9 lead as Coach Giro gives his guys a bit of a high five. You're listening to the home of all WWP Sports, 107.9 FM, WWPH in Princeton Junction.
Make sure your leftovers are safe as they're delicious. Put them in shallow containers and get them into the fridge as soon as possible. Spoiled leftovers can make you very sick or worse. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year, and roughly 3,000 will die. But you can keep your family safe by chilling food promptly and properly. Learn more about this and other important info. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov. That's foodsafety.gov. A public service announcement brought to you by the USDA, HHS, and the Ad Council, and you're listening to 107.9 FM, WWPH in Princeton Junction.
Second quarter about to resume. It was a trade, a battle of blows, if you will, in that first quarter for a little bit of the time before South was able to pull away. Pirates currently holding a 20-9 lead. And Eliana, you have to say the Pirates look really good right now, both on offense and defense.
Yeah, again, that's a huge lead for the Pirates, and the winning in the first quarter has been something that's been very good for them throughout the season. It usually means that the game's going to be good for them, but Trenton has had games where they've been down by this much or more in the first quarter or even in the first half, and just in the last quarter they've been able to get 20 or so points to get it back up.
We've seen that Trenton able to make quick substitutions and quick adjustments to their strategy. Here's Cameron Jones at the top of the key, gives it to Roshan Senthil, right wing, puts up a three, can't convert though off the front of the rim, and rebounded by Trenton. Here comes Munoz, and as he was passing that half-court line, he seemed to travel, and the ball's going to go back towards the Pirates. So with 7 minutes and 46 seconds left here in the half, Ben Ashworth's going to inbound it for South, and they're going to have an opportunity to increase that 11-point lead.
Yes. So, it's been a really good game. So
Here comes Cameron Jones. He waves off Quintus Crossland, then passes him the ball. Left wing, Crossland dribbles a couple times to his right, bounces it into Roshan Senthil. He goes up from that left side of the paint and converts the layup, makes it a 22-9 game with 7.5 minutes left here in the half. Here's Keyshawn Wharton, right side, and he's joined there by Thomas Munoz, who has the ball and is dribbling back over to the top of the key now. 7 minutes, 21 seconds remaining. He's dribbled all the way to the left side now, where he bounces it to Juan Sanchez. He tries to get it into Dowling. Dowling's, though, layup from that left side of the paint sailed over the rim. Now a whistle blown, waiting on word on what it'll be. First indications look to be that the ball is remaining with the Tornadoes, which it is. So it's going to be an inbound for Aive Ingram, and Trent's going to have an opportunity to once again answer back after that those first couple of points from South.
Yeah, we see Ben Ashworth guarding right now. He's been really good throughout the season, and this is his senior year, so it's good that he's being subbed in on the last official game before MCTs of the season.
Ingram threw it off the hands of Ashworth. It went out of bounds, so Ingram once again will be the one to inbound the ball. This time he gives it back to Keyshawn Wharton. Very quickly gives it to Juan Sanchez, right wing. Dribbling to the top of the key now, trying to figure out which way to go. Dribbles between his legs once. He's guarded closely by Amos Whitfield and hands it off to Ingram, right wing. Now at the top of the key is Munoz. Dribbles once to his left, hands it off to Wharton. We're seeing a lot of that quick passing here from Trenton. Now, here comes Juan Sanchez. He tried to go up from the left side for the layup, and a whistle is blown. And this time, the ball is going to go to South, possibly. Coach Giro clapping his hands like it is. Actually, no, the ball is not. Excuse me. It's actually going to be a couple of free throws for Juan Sanchez. So Coach Giro clapping his hands. He thought he got a call there. He did not. So with 6 minutes and 50 seconds left and a 22-9 lead for South, Juan Sanchez has an opportunity to make it as he makes his first one, now going up for his second in just a second, has an opportunity to make it an 11-point game.
Yeah, and Juan Sanchez, free throws aren't necessarily his strongest facet, but he is very good at them. But even throughout, his main thing has been, rebounds has been a really good thing for him. So hopefully rebounds and assists are something he can do, and we have seen that throughout the game. So if he continues to build on that, we'll hopefully see a lot of him today.
Sanchez's second free throw was no good. A foul was called as the ball was loose. It is a foul on Trenton, though, so South will be the ones to inbound it. 22-10, 6 minutes, 49 seconds remaining here in this half. Quintus Crossland looking to inbound it, and we can already see that the Tornadoes are looking to full court press. So, head coach Dale Young looking to try anything in order to get his boys back into the game. It's Cameron Jones now who has it on the left side, being counted down by the ref. Trying to find a lane, now finds one on the left side. He might go up all the way. Instead, he dishes it out to Vanish Chamalidin. He can't convert, though, on the left corner three. And a rebound now from the Tornadoes. Juan Sanchez goes up for the layup from the left side and scoops it in. Good move there by Juan Sanchez to make it a 22-12 game with just under 6.5 seconds remaining. Josiah Kuritzon had a fast break. He looked to go up on that left side of the paint and then dish it out to Vance Chamalidin once again, who was waiting in that left corner. Couldn't, however, make that pass work. So the ball, the ball is going to stay with South. So it must have gone off of the hands of one of the guys defending Kuritzon there. Here's Chamalidin. Over to Ashworth, over to Cameron Jones. Right corner three, no good. And a whistle called once again as the ball is loose. Quintus Crossland fell down, and it looks like it's going to be Pirates ball once again. This time it's going to be Cameron Jones to inbound it. 6 minutes, 14 seconds left, and a 22-12 lead for the Pirates.
Yeah, and even just taking a little bit on Josiah Kuritzon again, he's the one who's been getting down there a lot. But he's had a really great season so far. 55 rebounds has been pretty impressive for him. And this is also his first varsity season. So, really impressive so far. And, he's a big free throw shooter, so that's what we've seen him attempting a lot of those throughout the game.
Cameron Jones' inbound was tipped. Here comes Juan Sanchez, right side. Goes up for the layup. Whistle blown, and the shot is good. An opportunity for a three-point play here for Juan Sanchez, who has been really dominant. He's the smallest guy on the team. He's 5'7", but he's been extremely dominant in the paint today.
Yes. So we're seeing everyone, lining up. We've got all our players on there with with Ben Ashworth back right now.
Juan Sanchez converts his only free throw of that and makes it a three-point play. So now it's a 22-15 game for the Pirates. As Kuritzon tried to dribble it up, the ball got loose probably at that half-court line and rolled all the way out on that Pirates sideline. So the ball is going to go back to Trenton, who are going on a little bit of a run here. Remember, it was a 22-9 game. Now it's a 22-15 game, and it will actually stay with South. So once again, it looked like it went off of a Pirate. However, it went off of a Tornado. Here's Vance Chamalidin in to Quintus Crossland. Tried to make a spin move and go up, but a charge is called as Crossland attempted to do so. And once again, the Tornadoes are going to get the ball. Doing a great job is Trenton of drawing those fouls and forcing these turnovers, which is why they've cut it to a 22-15 game with 5 minutes and 56 seconds left in the half.
We're seeing Juan Sanchez again bringing it down. He's done that a lot throughout the game, so a strong player for them, and they're relying on for that.
He gives it to Ingram. He's the one who's going to cross the logo, and he gives it to Sanchez again. Sanchez tried to pass it in to Dowling, but it looks like the ball went out of bounds. And now it's going to be South who takes it back the other way. 5 minutes, 44 seconds left in this half. 22-15 game for South. Ashworth ready to inbound the ball, and he does a little underhand toss that converts to Cameron Jones. However, Jones gets the ball tipped away from him, able to recover it, but then a whistle blown. I think they're going to call this a travel. No, they're not. They're actually going to call it a foul on Trenton, but now pointing, the ref is back towards Trenton's side, so he's just pointing to see where that inbound's going to come from. So it's going to come back from South's own defensive end, but they are going to retain possession of the ball. Ben Ashworth getting ready to inbound it, directing a little traffic. He ends up sending a high arcing pass to Cameron Jones, who's at his own free throw line. He takes it all the way up the court. He's on the right wing now, still looking around. Now he's got Ashworth left wing. Ashworth spins once, now dribbles back, thought about taking a step back three, instead gives it back to Jones, way back beyond the perimeter. Dribbles now to his left, tries to step back, and it looks like he stumbled. He fell out of bounds, but before he could even fall out of bounds, he traveled, so the ref signals that, and the ball once again is going to go back to Trenton, who have done a great job, as we said, forcing turnovers in the second period.
Yeah, something both teams are definitely going to have to look out for is they've been playing a lot on the left so far this game, so making sure that they use the full court, take advantage. We've seen a couple of good points from the right that haven't been defended as much.
Thomas Munoz is at the logo, still waiting, now dishes it to the right. Juan Sanchez is on the wing. He gives it back to the top of the key. This time it's Ingram waiting there. Dribbling, guarded closely by Ramasamy. Just under 5 minutes remaining in this half. Puts up a left-handed shot from that right elbow. Can't convert. Now a tussle on the ground and a whistle blown. Here's sideline reporter Daniyal F with more.
South is trying to up their defense as Trenton's offense is getting more aggressive. They've been taking a few fouls, which Trenton is using to their advantage to take back points and foul shots. Coach Giro making continuous call-outs to remind the Pirates to stay on Trenton when they have the ball. And they've been making good saves, keeping Trenton from scoring most of the time, but have let a few slip, leading Trenton to get in possession of the ball once again. Back to you, Julian.
Thanks, Danielle. Trenton just missed a layup. It was Marquise Dowling who tried to use his height to his advantage, however, couldn't convert, and the whistle blown. And it looks like South is going to have possession of the ball. So Coco Ramasamy is going to be the one to inbound it this time as Ashworth is back on the bench. Long pass all the way over to Roshan Senthil. Already crossed the midcourt line. Now gives it to Curriton. Curriton is blocked, recovers his own rebound, and is able to put in the shot, so makes it 24-15 and ends the Tornadoes' run. 4.5 minutes left here in this first half. Here's Munoz at the top of the key again. This time guarded by Jones. Gives it to Sanchez. Left wing three. Bounces over that backboard and thus will be out of bounds and back to South. So a big play there from Josiah Curriton. He went up for the shot. Was blocked out of nowhere by Eva Ingram on that left side of the paint, but then was able to recover his own rebound. Here's Roshan Senthil. He's in the paint once again. He puts up the layup from that right side, converts the shot, and draws the whistle. And now Roshan Senthil going to go to the line with an opportunity for a three-point play.
Yeah, we haven't seen Roshan Senthil that much this game so far, but even just in the last 2 points, again, on the one before this one, he was up there really helping block out the space that they needed, and of course, he just made that one and is going up for his shot right now.
26-15 currently the score. Senthil misses the shot, so it'll stay that. 4 minutes and 15 seconds left here in this half. Here's Munoz dribbling. He thought about driving, instead circles back outside the perimeter and gives it to Ingram, top of the key. Directing traffic a little bit, still yet to dribble. Now dribbles to his right. He's got a right wing three up and no good. Rebound Senthil, ball loose, recovered by the Tornadoes, and Marquise Dowling's going to put it up from that left side to once again cut into that South lead. 26-17 Pirates lead, 3 minutes 47 seconds left here in this half as Amos Whitfield, dealing with that full court press, is able to get it to Senthil on that left wing. He gives it back to Jones all the way back towards that half court line. Still waiting, guarded very closely by Xavier Minnie. Jones, though, now driving on that left side of the paint, couldn't convert on that layup, and it's taken the other way. Here's Thomas Munoz, right wing, lost the ball, able to get it back, loses it again, and it just rolls now to Ive Ingram. He goes up himself towards that center of the paint, puts up a shot, no good. The ball looked to go off of Coco Ramasamy, and it will stay with Trenton. Still waiting on word. And yes, it is going to stay with Trenton. So it's going to be Ive Ingram to inbound it. 3 minutes and 16 seconds left in this half.
Yeah, again, lots to look forward to. We've had a lot of balls going out of bounds so far, even just in the first 2 quarters.
As Dowling converts his second layup in 2 attempts. So Marquise Dowling now starting to use that height to his advantage. Just over 3 minutes remaining here in this half at a 26-19 game. Pirates still leading, though. but you can hear this crowd getting louder. Some of that is Trenton fans. Coco Ramasamy passes it back out to Amos Whitfield, right wing. He tried to bounce it in, couldn't find somebody on the other side of that though. And the ball is going to go back to Trenton. So they're putting on lots of defensive pressure, and South, you can clearly tell, is struggling with it.
Absolutely. So, something that they're also going to have to do is looking at everything. We've seen a lot from the Tornadoes, especially with their rebounds. They've had 588 rebounds so far this year. So it's been looking good for them, and especially in this game, that's something they're relying on.
Ingram goes up, left elbow shot, banks off, and makes it a 5-point game, 26-21. Now even more of a full court press put on by the Tornadoes. Jones over to Amos Whitfield. They're still in their own backcourt. He gives it to Senthil now past that half-court line. Senthil might go up himself. He spins from that right side of the paint and converts the layup. Good move, Roshan Senthil, guarded by two Tornadoes defenders, makes it a 28-21 game. 2 minutes and 18 seconds left here in this second quarter. Aive Ingram on that right side puts up a right elbow three, off the mark once again. Ramasamy, long outlet pass to Amos Whitfield. He puts up the layup on the other side of the court, falls down as he puts it up, but converts on it, and once again, South now on a run. 2 minutes left here in this half. Thomas Munoz back at his own logo. Now at the top of the key, tried to make a move to the left, couldn't do so, and a whistle blown. Looks like there is a Trenton player who's going to go up to the line for 2 shots, as Coco Ramasamy fouled Thomas Munoz, who's going to be the one to put up those free throw attempts.
So, let's just take a look at how this season has been going for both teams. South has had a decent season with 7-14, which is better than a lot of past years, but Trenton has 5-16. We've looked at that before, but it is being reflected so far in the game. Hopefully we'll have a close game for the rest of the season, but we'll have to see what Trenton is able to do, especially in the last quarter.
Munoz converts both. It's a 30-23 game now with 1:50 left in this half. Once again, Trenton full court pressing. South can't cross the half court line. Curaton tried to, and he ended up losing the ball. It almost sailed out of bounds. Aive Ingram tried to save it as he fell down on the ball. His foot just barely went outside those boundaries, and South is going to get the ball back. That's a crucial error for Trenton because they don't have a lot of momentum right now, but it's an opportunity for South. Here's Curaton left wing. He dribbles in a little bit, now dribbles back and dishes it to Jones. Jones back to Curaton, left wing three, no good though. Rebound by Sanchez. He might go up this whole way. He does from the left side of the paint. That can't convert either. Rebound once again, South. 1:20 left in this half, 30-23 game. Here's Jones, top of the key, gives it to Ramasamy, left wing. He goes up, puts up a floater from the free throw line, and converts. 32-23, South leads. 1:08 left here in this half. Thomas Munoz, top of the key, looks to answer quickly, now slows down the pace a little bit, dribbles to his right, goes up with the layup, whistle blown, and he's going to go to the line for 2, couldn't convert the shot. So with exactly a minute left, it's a 9-point lead for South. And here's sideline reporter Daniyal F.
Trenton getting more aggressive this quarter and getting possession of the ball more often. They've been able to get a lot of layups and 2-pointers in. Coach Young is urging his players to be patient and get the right opportunity to shoot. They're making progress and trying to catch up in the score. Back to you, Julian.
Danielle, as Thomas Munoz makes his first free throw. So now it's an 8-point game, 32-24. Couple of substitutions being made. Cameron Jones heading back to the bench. So that's a big change for South as Vance Shimoladin comes back in. Munoz makes his second. It's a 7-point game, under a minute remaining now. Blake Amos Whitfield has it on the left side. Long pass to Ramasamy, right wing. He puts a high arcing pass there for Curaton, who's double teamed. Now Ramasamy dribbles in once past the perimeter, puts up a 2-pointer, can't convert though from that right side. And here comes Aive Ingram. He goes up for the layup, can't convert, another whistle blown, another trip to the line for these Tornadoes. Trenton, very clearly, their objective here is to draw fouls, get to that line, and shoot that ball. It's a 32-25 game. South leads. 37.8 seconds remaining in this half. And for the third time in 3 possessions, Trenton's going to go to the line.
For sure, definitely closing that score gap this quarter. We've seen them get so much more aggressive, both offensively and defensively, and really showing up, again, those steals and those rebounds, because just in this year, they have had over 1,000 rebounds and 420 steals, last year they had 1,000 rebounds and 420 steals, my fault. But this year they have continued a lot of that with some of their players returning and really being able to keep that up.
Aive Ingram can't convert either free throw, but Cameron Jones loses the ball as he comes back in the game. So now Thomas Munoz has the ball once again for the Tornadoes. Still a 7-point game, 20 seconds remaining. Munoz dribbles to his left, ends up going up for the layup as he was able to cut all the way into the paint. Couldn't convert. Blake Amos Whitfield on the other side with a fast break can though. So with 10 seconds left, 34-25, South leads. 7 seconds left. Clock ticking down. Trenton with an opportunity for one more shot. It's going to be put up by Mini, and he converts it as time expires. A 34-27 game is how we're going to go into this half. It looked for a while like South was dominating. Trenton actually did a very good job there in that second quarter, but South still heads into the break with a 7-point lead.
Yeah, so definitely a lot to look forward to in our second half. You know, we have seen Trenton make big comebacks. Again, that first quarter looked a little bit scary, 22-9, but we're even just seeing 34-27 right now. So way better quarter for Trenton, and they're getting better throughout. So we'll see where this takes us. Maybe the score will be closer throughout the game.
In just a moment, John Bridgeford and Brett Pagoda are going to be on for the halftime show. You're listening to the home of all WWP Sports, 107.9 FM, WWPH in Princeton Junction.
Saving money today is like giving a gift to your future self. A little money from each paycheck can go a long way, and you'll need those savings set aside to do cool stuff in the future. Thank you. Take control of your finances and make savings a part of your daily life. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million bucks. For free ways to go to feedthepig.org or visit Feed the Pig on Facebook. This message is brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council. And your home for all news and all sports, 107.9 FM WWPH in Princeton Junction.
And this is the halftime show with John and Brett. So, if you were unaware, the score is currently Pirates up 34-27 against Trenton Central. And one thing this game that has been just kind of crazy to see is just how much how close that Trenton has been able to bring this game back since at the beginning of at the end of the first. It didn't really look like it would be like this close of a game.
Yeah, no, it definitely didn't think like they would close the gap, but they did. And thanks to free throws, some timely cuts to the rim, I think they were able to get in good
Good rhythm.
Good rhythm. They were able to get in good pace, so they could go make the shots and opportunities and all that. So.
Yeah, and one thing that I thought was pretty interesting so far is that we have not seen a ton of three-pointers from both teams, considering, South normally just goes for a ton of three-pointers in this game, but they haven't really. They've gone for like a couple times here and there, but for the main part, their buckets so far just have been them just slashing to the paint and getting a layup.
Yep. All facts right there from John. I think also another key is the outlet long passes. I've noticed that, especially Bryson, Blake Amos Whitfield from our South Pirates has gotten out and transitioned really nicely, and I think has given us some good opportunities for us to get out and make some baskets and to keep maintaining the lead going into halftime.
Yeah, for sure. However, though, we have to give credit to some of the Trenton Central players, especially Juan Sanchez, as especially in that first half, he looked dominant. He was constantly getting to the line, getting and ones, and just slashing to the paint, and just being an absolute menace for the South defense to cover. And, yeah, that it truly has been a testament to how they've been able to hold on to this game and just make it a 7-point game when they come back from half.
I think, what do you think are the keys to the second half there, John?
Honestly, I think we're going to see more of the same. Maybe a couple more three-pointers from both sides. However, I think the plan for Trenton and that their coach may drop, Daryl Young, it's probably going to remain similar, honestly, since it has brought you back. However, though, I wonder how South is going to adapt to the way they're playing, to the way that Trenton is playing.
Yeah, that'll be really interesting to see, namely because Trenton was able to get those. They were actually able to get a lot in the half court past the mid-court line, and so past the mid half court, they were able to like set up their offensive production really well. And so I think that's a key for the South to continue to protect the basket, with
For
Quintus
sure, for
Crossland
sure.
and a few of the other big guys back there for the Pirates. We need to be able to maintain that strength, just like we were doing in the majority of the first quarter and second quarter.
Yeah, for sure. Especially since this might be, or I'm pretty sure is, one of the last games that they are going to be playing at home this year. So definitely to take advantage of these games and just like see if you can break your losing streak that you're currently on and just be as hot as you can before going into
Who knows? Maybe
your next game.
Who knows? Maybe the some of the hometown crowd could get behind the Pirates and will them to
For
victory.
sure.
Because I think for the most part, it's been a pretty modest crowd. But I think definitely the intensity, the energy will begin to pick up in the second half, and
For
then
sure.
we'll really be able to see which team separates itself against one another.
Yeah, 4 minutes left in this halftime. And a reminder, Pirates up by 7 as the score currently is 34, my bad, to 27 Trenton. And yeah, as the Pirates actually come back on the court, it's honestly, I I am curious to see if they are going to continue the way that they've been playing, or just adapt and try to see what they can do to mix up their game to throw off Trenton.
I think I'm not sure if this was true, but I was able to see some zone from the
Yes,
offense.
yes. I do see what you mean there. Especially since, especially with the zone over though, one thing that I've seen a lot of as well from Trenton is just how they've just been so physical this game so far with defense. And
And
as the
offensively too, as the second
exactly,
quarter started.
exactly. Yeah, as the Hurricanes make it back onto the
However,
back on
I
the
think
court.
if you want to look at Trenton's keys for the second half, I think you need to look at their three-point shooting. That they just need to convert on more of those open looks. But the problem is they're not getting them because the perimeter players for South, their guards and forwards are really fast, really quick, and
Yeah.
they're able to stay in front of most of the Trenton guards, except for Munoz. I think for Trenton was able to get to the free throw line a few times. But if they can
Yeah.
drive and then kick out to the 3-point line, they'll be able to maybe convert some of those opportunities and all.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be very interesting to see, like we were saying, how these teams will choose to adapt to how the other teams are playing. And one thing that I think we might see a lot more from is just Trenton trying to get their other players involved. It has been a relatively quiet day for their big man, Marquise Dowling, and I wonder
For
if they're
sure.
going to try to increase him, get
Get his
him
production
more.
going.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
because he's a big guy. He needs a lot of big buckets, if you know what I mean.
Exactly.
So-
We've seen some times where he was just able to absolutely bully the South players when getting to the rim and just getting a very easy layup. However, it is going to be very interesting to see how they choose to utilize him and especially Juan Sanchez in the second half.
Other notes for listeners, if they haven't taken note, is that Trenton right now is 15-16 on the current season,
Yeah.
and they're third in the CVC Colonial Valley Conference, and with that, I think Trenton can take in that second half the push there. I think it was a 6-0 run, if I'm not mistaken, to close the half. If they can take that, build the momentum, they'll be able to start off the third quarter hot. I think that will be key for them.
Yeah, definitely. And as stated in the pregame show, this is a very young and inexperienced Trenton team. And if they were able to basically come down from what at the beginning of the first did not look like a game, that would just be a massive statement win for the Hurricanes or the Tornadoes. And if I'm South though, I want to win this game as soundly as possible, as I want as much momentum as possible coming off a losing streak and just heading into our next game.
Yeah, and potentially having a playoff game, although likely going to be away. Is that right?
Yes.
Likely going
Yes.
to be away. I think that'll be key just to get the good vibes, juices flowing. That's what I like to say.
Exactly,
John.
exactly.
Good juices flowing. Trademark
Yeah, get
that
the
right
vibe.
now.
Yeah, get the good vibes back into the team.
Get the pirate ship rolling, as they say.
Exactly, exactly.
All right.
Minute left in this halftime as both teams are warming up. You're listening to the home of all WWP Sports, 107.9 FM, WWPH in
And-
Princeton Junction.
And you've just been listening to the Pirate
The Pirate Halftime
Report.
Show.
From Brett and John.
Yep. And we will be heading back into the third quarter. And yeah, just some wrapping up thoughts. It's going to be very interesting how the South Pirates and Trenton Tornadoes decide to take on this game and just see what they can do for each team to pull out a win. Yeah. And it's just going to be very interesting to see. You're listening to the home of all WWP Sports, 107.9 FM, WWPH in Princeton Junction.
Back here for the second half. 34-27 game is where we left off. Thank you, John and Brett, for that halftime show. 34-27. Coco Ramasamy on the right baseline is going to be the one. Sideline is going to be the one to inbound it. He does so straight to Crossland, who was in the paint for a second. Instead, dishes it out to Amos Whitfield. He goes up for the layup, though can't convert from that right side. Grabs his own rebound after a tussle. Still can't convert. Ball loose and recovered by Trenton. So here come the Tornadoes. It's going to be Kadir Dixon. He spins once in the paint, goes up and converts. Good move by him. Makes it a 34-29 game. 7 minutes, 35 seconds left here in this third quarter. Josiah Curriton dribbling and passing it over to Cameron Jones. Still yet to be in their own half of the court. Now they are. Curriton, left wing three. Can't convert though. And rebound grabbed by Dixon. Long pass to Keyshawn Worthington on the other side. A block from behind by Jones. And here come the Pirates. Here's Quintus Crossland. He goes up for the layup. He can't convert from the left side, but a whistle is blown. It's going to be a foul on Trenton. So a 5-point game. Tons of action here in just this first 47 seconds. But now it's Quintus Crossland who's going to go to the line for two.
Yeah, these fast breaks and these long passes have been something we've seen throughout the game. It's been pretty crazy, especially with a lot of long passes either going out of bounds or the Pirates have been able to block it a couple of times and gain possession like they just did.
Crossland misses his first free throw. He's missed a lot of them today so far. And now we hear the Trenton crowd and the Trenton players trying to distract Crossland. They're still upset because they thought that that block on the other side of the court should have been a foul. It wasn't. Crossland's second shot this time is sinks, so maybe he just needed Trenton to get involved a little bit. 35-29 game, 7 minutes, 10 seconds left. Here's Thomas Munoz, top of the key. Dribbles once to his left, then backs up. He's once again dribbles to his left. Pick set by Dixon, drives himself, right side. Now ball is loose and recovered by Cameron Jones. Passes it over to Ramasamy, right side, 6 minutes, 53 seconds remaining. Gives it into Crossland. He goes up. He's blocked, though, by Juan Sanchez. Here comes Sanchez. He goes up from that right side of the paint. Whistle blown, foul called, shot no good, but a chance to go to the line for two.
For sure. And again, we've seen a lot of fouls throughout this game as well. People have been on the floor throughout. People have been, hit or blocked throughout the game. So it's not crazy that Trenton thought that was a foul. But, of course, now they do have one, and the shot is about to be taken.
Juan Sanchez dribbles once, twice, now 3 times with his right hand. Puts up his first free throw. It rolls off of the front of the rim. 6 minutes, 44 seconds, 35-29 game. South leads. And now Sanchez has one more opportunity here on this second shot. So once again, 2 dribbles this time, and the same trajectory of that shot. It's tipped up, recovered by Dixon. His layup, though, is no good. Ball is loose now, recovered by Crossland. Tried to dribble behind his back. He's got 3 Trenton guys on him, still hasn't passed the half-court line. Now he does. Amos Whitfield, right corner. Dribbles a couple times, now gives it back to Crossland all the way back towards that half-court line. Dribbles to his left, loses it off his shoe. It goes behind him. Cam Jones picks it up and is called on a backcourt violation. It never touched a Trenton player, but now it will because Trenton's going to grab the ball. Tornadoes are going to have the opportunity to cut that 6-point deficit. 35-29, Pirates lead, 6 minutes, 24 seconds left in this third quarter.
Yeah, we saw some good sportsmanship there as Jones helped pick up one of the Trenton players. So, always good to see that. But as being taken in, you can see how tense everyone is trying to make sure that they're able to cover it.
It's going to be Aive Ingram to inbound it. He does so to the right corner where Kadir Dixon waits. Back to Ingram, this time inside now to Worthen. He goes up for the layup, converts it, and goes to the line as a whistle was called. So he's going to have an opportunity for a three-point play, and more importantly, to make this a 3-point and 1-possession game. The Tornadoes, after a rough first quarter, have absolutely stormed back.
And, we're seeing a lot from everyone on this team. As much as there's been fouls and all of that, there's been just as much defense, strong and aggressive from everyone, even as we're seeing that for the rebound.
Yeah, Worthen can convert on the free throw, and now it's Cameron Jones, guarded very closely by Kadir Dixon, passing the half-court line now, dribbling to his left, goes up, now dishes it to Ramasamy, left corner, dribbles in once, and puts up a mid-range shot that swishes through the basket and makes it a 37-31 game. 5 minutes and 56 seconds left here in this third quarter. Here's Juan Sanchez right side, now top of the key, directing traffic a little bit as he speaks to his other 4 guys on his team. Now gives it to Aive Ingram. Left wing, puts up a floater from the free throw line and converts. And once again, it's a 4-point game. So Trenton and South exchanging blows right now as Josiah Curriton grabs it and makes his way up the court. He gives it to Amos Whitfield, tries to drive, got stripped by Sanchez, ball still loose, and recovered by Amos Whitfield in that right corner. He gives it back to Crossland, now tried to fire it in to Curriton. It was deflected, but it deflected all the way back out to the perimeter where Amos Whitfield was waiting. Ramasamy, now Curriton, left corner 3, no good. Rebound, tussle, still nobody, and now the ball goes out of bounds. The ref is pointing towards the other side, so it's going to be Trenton who takes the ball back. They're down 37-33, 5 minutes, 10 seconds left here in this third quarter.
We're seeing a photographer now on the top of the court, and it is a good time for him to come out. It's all the action is really taking place. It's getting so much of a closer game, and as much as Trenton is coming back from where they were in the first quarter, South is keeping their heads above water and making sure they're keeping up with their shots and their defense.
Tornadoes with another opportunity to make this a 1-possession game. Here's Juan Sanchez at the logo. Gives it to Munoz left wing. And now Ingram, who had it at the top of the key and lost it. Ramasamy bounce pass to the right side. Curriton fakes out 2 Trenton players as he goes up and converts the shot from that right side of the paint. 39-33. Pirates lead as a timeout is called by Coach Daryl Young. 4 minutes and 44 seconds left here in this third quarter.
For sure. And, as we're seeing the game close so much, it is interesting because coming into the game, we didn't know what to expect. Trenton has had a much more difficult season than South in terms of how they've done, and they're very unexpected, loss of some of their seniors and a very impressive junior that was really going to be their future last year. So they're doing really good this game and coming back. And again, the fourth quarter usually in almost every game is their strongest, wins or losses. So we'll have to see how they're able to use that to their advantage.
We know you missed him. Once again, back by dialing in. Here's sideline reporter Daniyal F with more.
It's been a back-and-forth struggle for the ball. South making hard blocks as soon as Trenton gets close to the net. We've been seeing a lot of fouls happening fast, and both teams trying to use those shots to gain a lead in points. Trenton has increased the number of attempted 2-pointers and have successfully made a few. The Pirates are trying to make more free throws and 3-pointers, but not all have been successful. Back to you, Julian.
Thanks, Danielle. Kadir Dixon just converted a layup from the left side, makes it a 39-35 game as once again the Tornadoes full court press. Amos Whitfield looking for a way to get to his side of the court. He bounces it to Josiah Curriton. It went right under the hand of a Trenton player, and Curriton was able to convert on the layup. So it's a 41-35 game now. Pirates lead.
These fast breaks have been impressive for South, especially with so many Trenton players guarding them closely. They've been able to fake out. They've been able to get just above where they need to be.
Aive Ingram, left wing 3, no good. Rebound by Cameron Jones. He gives it to Josiah Curriton, then calls for the ball back. Still not yet in their own offensive territory. Now he is. He found a lane. He went up for the layup. Can't convert. Ball still loose. And a rebound by Kadir Dixon. Pass to the other side, this time the right side, as Keyshawn Worthen goes up and goes in for the layup. Makes it a 41-37 game, and we're going back and forth with these fast breaks and these layups. 3.5 minutes left here in this third quarter. 41-37, South leads. Curriton top of the key, gives it over to Amos Whitfield, who's back towards the half-court line. Now dribbles to the top of the key himself, and a whistle blown. Travel called. Trenton gets the ball back once again, and another opportunity to make it a one-possession game.
Yeah, Trenton is going to have to use this to their advantage. They have been getting, like you said, going back and forth. Both teams have been getting really good within their shots. So
An inbound from Juan Sanchez is stolen by Josiah Carrington, and he converts the layup. So it went from the opportunity to make it a one-possession game to now a 6-point lead for South. Once again, though, the Tornadoes will have the ball. Aiva Ingram, top of the key. Sanchez, left wing, goes up, puts up a shot, and draws a whistle. It looks like he was just going to draw the foul the entire time because he did not have an angle from that left side. But nonetheless, Juan Sanchez is going to go to the line for 2. 3 minutes and 4 seconds left here in this third quarter, and still a 6-point lead for the Pirates. It's 43-37.
Yeah, again, a 2-possession game right now. That's really close, and we've seen the game go back and forth between, who's getting closer and like how close the score gap in general is.
Sanchez converts his first, makes it a 5-point game, 43-38. He's going to get one more, and no substitutions for either team, so they're keeping on. These looks like their original starting 5. The only exception is Rasheed Barlow is now in for Marquise Dowling. Other than that, it's the same 5 as we kicked off with, so crunch time for both of these teams. Sanchez makes his second. Here comes Carrington. Dribbled it up the entire way, lost the ball on his way up, but he's going to retain possession of it. It's going to be another inbound for South. 2 minutes, 59 seconds left here in this third quarter, and a 4-point lead for the Pirates currently.
And as we, go into that, we're seeing a lot of commotion around wherever the ball is going right now. Obviously, Cameron Jones is putting it in.
He inbounds it to Quintus Crossland, left side of the paint. Pump fakes once, lost the ball, gets it back, and as he tried to pump fake a second time, gets called on a travel, and once again, Trenton is going to have the opportunity to make this a one-possession game. 2 minutes, 54 seconds left, 43-39 South leads, and a long inbound now from Barlow over to Ingram. He's at the top of the key now. As Barlow fell down in the paint, now Sanchez has it left wing, gives it into Dixon, makes a post move from the left side of the paint, and converts, and just like that, it is a 2-point game. And once again, Trenton full court pressing. Cameron Jones breaks for past the half-court line, and he's able to do so successfully. Here is Blake Amos Whitfield, right wing, making a couple moves on Sanchez, now driving in the paint himself. Center of the paint, banks in a shot from around that free throw line. And just like that, it's another 2-possession game.
That is just what South needed, again, to get ahead a little bit. Like we've seen, the score is going back and back, and it is getting louder as the score is getting closer. You can hear people from both sides cheering for their teams.
Speaking of that score getting closer, Kadir Dixon just made a right wing 3 to make it a 1-point game. Blake Amos Whitfield has it now in the right corner, gives it all the way back to Coco Ramasamy. Top of the key, 3-ball, got it! Coco Ramasamy once again gives the Pirates some breathing room, and the ball is stolen by Carrington off the inbound. He couldn't convert though on the layup, so here comes the Tornadoes. And it's going to be Kadir Dixon. He goes up himself. Right side, blocked from behind by Quintus Crossland. Ball is loose. Now saved by Amos Whitfield. He's on his own, and he puts up a shot in the paint. Can't convert on it. Can't convert on the second chance opportunity either. Coach Giro yelling for a foul. Here on the other side, though, is Trenton, and a foul is called. So it looks like a player on the Tornadoes is going to go to the line for 2. 48-44, minute 23 left here in this third quarter. And after 2 nonstop minutes of action, here's sideline reporter once again, Daniyal F.
Coach Young for Trenton directing his players, positioning and timing his calls. Trenton's coming quick with their passes, but being blocked repeatedly by South in their shots. Their player right now is bouncing back with layups or foul shots whenever South scores to catch up. And Coach Giro is continuously yelling at the referees, as well as Coach Young. Both coaches are extremely angry and upset with the current plays being made right now. Back to you, Julian.
Thanks, Danielle. Speaking of that commotion, now we've actually got there, so they're going to call it a technical foul. My guess is Coach Giro got a little too loud, a little too angry with some of these officials, and they're calling a tech on South because now it's Juan Sanchez on his own in his own offensive half to take these 2 free throws. 48-44 is the score, in case you forgot. 1 minute and 23 seconds left here in this third quarter. And tons, as we said, and as Danielle said, tons of commotion going on. Speaking of commotion, the Tornadoes don't even know who's going to take the free throws yet. It was going to be Juan Sanchez. He just got replaced by Kadir Dixon, which you can do since it's a tech, but now another whistle called by a ref. So still not sure exactly what's going on, but whatever it is, you can listen to it here on 107.9 FM, WWPH in Princeton Junction. Get your fake news elsewhere. Get your real news from your local high school radio station. That's us, 107.9 FM, WWPH in Princeton Junction.
Yeah, it does look like it's going to be, Actually, they're switching it again. But yeah, it definitely got loud, and so that is probably where the technical foul came from. You can see the confusion on everyone's faces right now for what's going to happen. But they're looking to now make the shot.
Hopefully third time's a charm, and it looks like it's going to be, because now it's going to be Keyshawn Worthen to take these free throws for Trenton. You can hear the crowd trying to get in his head, and it works because Worthen misses his first. Still a 4-point game. Still everybody else except for Worthen in that backcourt, and he's going to have one more opportunity. Still can make this a one-possession game if he converts this one. Once again, you hear the rumbling from those stands. Worthen's shot is up and rolls out of the rim. So neither of Keyshawn Worthen's shots converts. However, it is a technical foul, so Trenton is going to get the ball back. So still an opportunity for them here to make it a one-possession game. However, way less opportunity because of those 2 missed free throws than the Tornadoes originally thought. But here comes Juan Sanchez, who's now going to take a free throw as well. So Sanchez has been pretty solid with his free throws today. His is up and good. So now it is a 3-point game. So the question now is, because Worthen is still at that line, I'm sorry, not Worthen, Sanchez, is it possible, it is possible that 2 technical fouls were called. Worthen, though, once again, Sanchez misses his second. So I think we had 4 different players at that line in the span of like 30 seconds. So tons of chaos, and like we said, Trenton is going to retain possession of the ball. So it's going to be Thomas Munoz, right sideline, inbounds it. Kadir Dixon, right corner. Guarded closely by Senthil, right elbow shot, converts. And now it's once again a 1-point game. 1:15 left to go in this third quarter. Trenton once again full court pressing. Crossland has it in the backcourt. Now crossing that half-court line. He's going to bounce pass over to Senthil, who thought about taking the layup, then had to dribble back out to the perimeter. Left corner 3 from Senthil, can't convert, and ball still loose. Now Crossland has it right side of the paint. Pivots a couple times, tried to go up for the layup, couldn't convert. Senthil, though, grabs it and puts it back in. Roshan Senthil using that height, and now it's a 50-47 game in this third quarter. Head coach Daryl Young going to once again take a timeout for his Tornadoes, and 49.4 seconds remaining here in this third quarter.
I think something we can also recognize, just in that last shot even, is that Dixon's vertical is pretty impressive. The height he's able to get, even though he's definitely not the tallest guy on the team, because that would be Marquise Dowling at 6'7", but he's still able to get a super high jump, really get above all those players trying to block him. So that's something that he's done throughout the game when he's blocking other players, and also whenever he takes a shot.
And you want to talk about verticals, let's talk about Roshan Senthil on that last play. He skied above everybody else. Quintus Crossland's layup didn't even touch the rim. It went to the other side of the basket. Roshan Senthil was right there, though, flew out of nowhere, grabbed that ball and put it back in. Very impressive from the tallest guy on that Pirates team. It's part of the reason why, actually the main reason why, they have a 3-point lead right now with just under a minute left in this third quarter.
Yeah, and he's done that throughout the game as well. Like, you've seen him blocking a lot of the shots Trenton has tried to take, as well as getting up there at least a few times for both layups and a couple of shots.
Both teams now heading back out onto the court. South was there first. It's going to be Trenton, though, who gets the ball. 3-point game and 1-possession game. So the Tornadoes' opportunity here to tie it. They haven't converted much on their threes today. If they could do so here, that would tie the game and be huge for them. Here is Alvia Ingram. He's at the top of the key, dribbling with his left hand, still at the top of the key. Now gives it to Munoz, left wing. Finds Sanchez, left elbow shot. Bounces off the rim 4 times and rebounded by Crossland. 26 seconds left here in this third quarter. He makes a move, faked going to his left, now goes to his right. Blake Amos Whitfield from the top of the key couldn't convert on the 3 as Crossland dished it back to him. And with 15 seconds left, here comes Trenton once again. Kadir Dixon, top of the key, tried to spin. Now gives it to Sanchez. His 3-pointer off the mark. Rebound Crossland. Kiraton, excuse me. And now as he crosses the half-court line, 2 seconds remaining, no shot will be fired. The third quarter will end in a pretty anticlimactic way. No shot put up after shots were put up left and right throughout that quarter. But we are going into the final frame with a 1-possession game. Pirates lead 50-47. We're going to be right back. You're listening to the home of all WWP Sports, 107.9 FM, WWPH in Princeton Junction.
Let's move. That's what First Lady Michelle Obama is trying to get the nation to do. In her efforts to solve the problem of childhood obesity in a generation, she's suggesting that we all get up and get active. Let's move Monday, touch your toes Tuesday, water Wednesday, 3 veggie Thursday, freeze tag Friday, samba Saturday, skip the sweets Sunday. Just 60 minutes of physical activity and eating well can help your child healthy. Visit letsmove.gov today to get ideas to get involved and to get going. This was a message from 107.9 FM in WWPH in Princeton Junction.
Fourth quarter about to go underway, but before we get there, here's another sideline report from Daniyal F.
During the timeout at the end of the last quarter, Coach Giro was reminding his players to stay focused on their game and defense. He was showing a large amount of aggression and anger towards some of the calls made by the referees, and he told the Pirates to not let his emotions affect their play and keep their head in the game. We're seeing a lot of good leadership and sportsmanship coming from Coach Giro, despite his, high amount of aggression and emotions. Back to you, Julian.
Coach Giro definitely modeling for his players there, 50-47, as the final 8 minutes of this game are about to go underway. It's going to be Trenton, it's going to be Ingram to inbound it to start off this frame. He gives it to Juan Sanchez, who almost fell backcourt, had to get the ball away. It's stolen by Blake Amos Whitfield. He gives it to Coco Ramasamy. He converts on the layup, and just like that, it's no longer a one-possession game. Great play by South there in order to get their momentum back after a rough offensive showing from Trenton. Here's Ingram left wing, dishes it in to Dowling. He puts it up, can't convert, gets his own layup, converts it, and draws the foul. And once again, it's an opportunity for a three-point play for Trenton. This time, it's actually Kadir Dixon who's going to go up to the line. 52-49 with an opportunity to make it a two-point game. 7 minutes and 35 seconds left here in this fourth quarter.
Again, Dowling, every time he puts it up, he's above every single other person on the court. And honestly, Dixon is also another tall player. He's not as tall as some of those other players, but you can hear the court definitely fearing his shot.
Yeah, Kadir Dixon standing at 6'2", and he just made 3 points for his Tornadoes. So a two-point game, 52-50, Pirates lead. Here's Roshan Senthil, right wing, gives it back to Currington, top of the key. And now it's Amos Whitfield. He goes into the paint, tried to dish it out to Ramasamy left corner, which he does. Now crossland at the logo, dribbling to his right, spinning to his left, going up with the right-hand layup, can't convert. Ball is loose, recovered by Currington. He puts up a close-range shot and converts from that left side. And once again, South answers. 54-50, just over 7 minutes remaining in this fourth quarter. As here's Ingram. Right corner three, no good. Grabs his own rebound, now lost it. Here's Ramasamy, he's got numbers. He goes up himself from the left side and converts on that layup as well. And it's a 56-50 game. Trenton, though, go to nowhere. They just sailed. They absolutely just sprinted back towards the other court. Didn't even take any time to inbound that thing. Just went right away. They can't convert, however. They did draw the foul, and it's going to be Thomas Munoz who goes to the line for two, and an opportunity to stop that momentum that South just gained.
And again, a lot of spins coming from both teams so far. That's been the reason Trenton's lost the ball a couple of times, because they weren't able to control it as they're trying to get away from some of the South players. But it is something that both teams have utilized to get away a couple of times for sure.
And that's indicative of good defense as Munoz misses his first. They're needing to pull in, go into their bag of tricks a little bit in order to get past each other. So that's a second missed free throw from Munoz. Still a 6-point game, 6 minutes, 43 seconds left here in this game. Currington top of the key, dribbling to his right, dishing to Senthil, right corner. Dribbles in a couple times and gives it back to Crossland at that top of the key once again. Guarded very closely by Sanchez, tries to go right and then left, and he's going to get called, and the ball is going to go back to Trenton. Coach Giro yelling at the referee, asking what he could have possibly done for the ball to go the other way. Not exactly sure what the answer is, but whatever it is, it's Trenton's ball now. 56-50, just under 6.5 minutes remaining. An inbound from Sanchez over to Ingram is how the Tornadoes are going to kick off this possession. And a whistle's called as soon as Ingram passes that half-court line. Ingram is yelling. I thought it was just a timeout being called, but now the ball goes back to South. So there must have been some violation there off of the ball that would give South the ball back, but the Pirates are going to have it either way with 6 minutes and 23 seconds remaining in this game and a 6-point lead.
And we're seeing Quintus Crossland again with it. He has come back, and he's been a major piece of why the Pirates are doing so well this game, along with his teammates, working really great as a team as a whole.
Crossland bounces it to Currington, and on their own offensive side, the Pirates have numbers. Currington free throw shot, no good, but he didn't get called on the foul. Thomas Munoz complaining about that call as he was the one who allegedly fouled Josiah Curriton there. But nonetheless, Josiah Curriton going to the line for 2 points now, 56-50 still, and 6 minutes and 16 seconds left in this fourth quarter.
And Kiriton again, you can hear Trenton trying to get the shot to not get in.
And it worked in that first one because Curriton did miss, so still a 6-point lead. You can hear how loud this Trenton bench and their opposing fans can get as Curriton, though, converts his second. 57-50 game now. Here comes Trenton once again, 6 minutes, 15 seconds. Trenton hasn't scored since the very beginning of this quarter, and a timeout now called by their head coach, Daryl Young. So South right now has all the momentum, 6 minutes, 12 seconds left in this fourth quarter, and if Trenton wants to salvage any part of that momentum that they had in that third quarter, then this is the opportunity to do so. Timeout called as they're discussing strategy. For decades, 107.9 FM WWPH in Princeton Junction has been your source for local information and student voices in West Windsor and Plainsboro. And this year, the tradition continues on your community radio station, 107.9 FM WWPH in Princeton Junction. You're listening to the home of all WWP sports, 107.9 FM WWPH Princeton Junction.
As a parent, you can't help but look at your child and dream about what the future holds. But while you're dreaming, consider this. The odds that your child will be diagnosed with autism are 1 in 110. Knowing the signs of autism and getting an early diagnosis can make a world of difference. To learn the signs, visit autismspeaks.org, brought to you by the Autism Speaks and the Ad Council, and 107.9 FM WWPH in Princeton Junction.
Timeout about to end. Here's sideline reporter Daniyal F with another update.
Pirates are making a lot more creative passes, especially when with Ramaswamy and Whitfield to confuse Trenton and make their shots. We're now seeing a bit more noise and yelling from the Trenton crowd, especially their coach as well. Trenton players can't time their blocks quick enough to intercept South. Despite leading in score, the Pirates aren't wasting time or easing down. Back to you, Julian.
Thanks, Daniyal. Trenton is going to take the ball first. 6 minutes and 8 seconds left in this fourth quarter as Juan Sanchez now passes the logo, dribbles to his left, bounces it to Ingram left wing. Still waiting, no dribbles yet. Now Munoz top of the key, directing traffic, and now backing up towards that midcourt line. He goes to his right, now goes to his left. He's got Sanchez left wing, guarded closely by Crossland. Bounces it in to Wharton. Can't convert on the shot, though. Rebound by Senthil, and he gives it back to Crossland, who looks to slow down the pace a little bit. 5 minutes, 40 seconds left here in this game. Blake Amos Whitfield on that right wing. Gives it into Crossland. Back out to Senthil. Right corner three. No good. Tussle for the rebound. Ball's loose, but as it's loose, there's a whistle called. Looks like it's going to be on the Tornadoes based on Aive Ingram's upset face. And exactly 5.5 minutes remaining here in this fourth quarter. And the Pirates are going to inbound it in their own offensive zone.
You can feel the energy from everyone. You can see some of the sidelines on South's team getting excited for this, because this could be definitely something that puts the South ahead, especially in this last quarter, as they're only 7 points ahead, which is not as much as they've been throughout the game.
Ramaswamy to Crossland in that right corner. It looks like the ball went out of bounds. It looks like last touch by Crossland, and it is. So an opportunity for South there squandered because Trenton now going to take the ball back. It's Rasheed Barlow looking to inbound it, being counted down, and he gives it to Juan Sanchez, guarded by two guys. Now gives it back to Barlow, guarded by none. Tussle for the ball. Ball's loose, and now on the left side of the paint is Wharton. Munoz, left corner three. Can't convert off the front of the rim. Rebound, Curriton. Ball is stripped, though. Trenton takes it back. A behind-the-back pass from Barlow to Wharton. Went off of Wharton and out of bounds, and it looks like now South is going to get the ball back. So lots of sloppy play, lots of turnovers, and no, it actually did go off of a Pirate, so it is going to stay with Trenton. It's going to be Rasheed Barlow to inbound it from this right sideline. Looks around now, bounces it to Wharton, who's yelling back to him, and he gives it to Juan Sanchez at the logo. Just over 5 minutes left. Sanchez yet to dribble, now does between his legs a couple times, guarded by Curriton. Left wing is Barlow. He gives it in, tried to give it in at least to Munoz. Ball went loose and stolen by Blake Amos Whitfield. He gives it to Quintus Crossland to run the point. He crosses the logo now. 4 minutes and 45 seconds left in this game. Crossland behind the back, goes to his left, dishes it out to Ramaswamy. Now Amos Whitfield, left corner three off the mark, and a rebound by the Tornadoes. Here is Keyshawn Wharton, bounces it over to Juan Sanchez. He'll be the one to man this possession as he's guarded closely by Blake Amos Whitfield. Goes to his right, goes up himself, and a whistle called. He's going to draw a foul and go to the line for two. 4 minutes and 25 seconds left. Still a 57-50 game. Pirates lead with only a little bit of time left for the Tornadoes to answer.
And just like we've seen throughout the game, these fouls, as these shooting fouls in particular, especially for South, is something they're going to need to watch if they want to keep their lead for the rest of the quarter. Since the fourth quarter, like we've discussed before, is one of the stronger quarters for Trenton. We haven't seen that so far, but it could come back at any point. So
Juan Sanchez about to take his first free throw. He goes up and converts it. Juan Sanchez has been at the line plenty today, and he's done pretty well from there. We talked a lot about in that second and third quarter about Trenton's opportunity to draw, or ability at drawing fouls. Part of the reason why they were able to get back in this game, and they're looking to do the same thing now. Now it's a 6-point game as Cameron Jones just gets subbed in for Roshan Sento. Sanchez converts a second. 5-point game, long outlet pass to Blake Amos Whitfield on the other side of the court. Nobody there was guarding him, but he can't convert on the layup. So here comes the Tornadoes. And it looks like Thomas Munoz drew a shooting foul there as well. So that's what we're talking about, that ability. Munoz was at that right elbow, didn't exactly have an angle, but he went up anyways, went forward with his arms, enough for the refs to call it a shot. And he drew some contact as well. So he's going to go to the line now with an opportunity to convert two and make it a one-possession game.
And again, depending on how this goes, this could make it, like you said, a one-possession game, which is just so crazy because, that was a completely unguarded shot that South just had there, but they were not able to convert, leading to the turnover. So it's going to be something to look out for, especially.
Munoz converts his first. 4 minutes and 17 seconds left in this game. Second is off the front of the rim. Rebound, though, Kadir Dixon. He puts it in himself and makes it a 3-point game. Here's Josiah Carrington on that right side. Guarded closely and now gives it back to Cameron Jones, top of the key. Ramasamy left wing. Dribbling a couple times, can't find anywhere to go. Looking for a man to help him out. He's got Crossland free throw line. Now making a post move, going up, can't convert on the shot. Grabs his own rebound, tries to do it again. Left side, no. Whistle blown, though. And it looks like Quintus Crossland's going to go to the line for two. So the scoreboard currently says 55 is the score for Trenton. I thought it was 54, but a 2-point game. And 3 minutes and 51 seconds left here in this fourth quarter. Quintus Crossland, though, an opportunity to extend once again that South lead.
Quintus Crossland has been able to do a lot with his three throws so far this year. However, there is an exemption just now.
Yeah, he missed that one, partially because of that Trenton bench. Once again, we can hear how loud they're getting, and it's definitely rattling some of these Pirates players. However, let's see if it rattles Crossland on the second. It does not. So, still a one-possession game, but a little bit more breathing room now for the Pirates. 3 minutes, 48 seconds left in this game. Here's Thomas Munoz, top of the key, leaves it for Dixon at that same location. Dribbling with his right hand, guarded by Cameron Jones, goes up, contested layup, no good from the right side, rebound Crossland, outlet pass to Amos Whitfield on the other side, and untouched, he goes up and converts the layup. 3.5 minutes left in this game, and a 5-point lead now for the Pirates, as once again, they look for that, or they've regained that momentum. Kadir Dixon, top of the key, dribbling between his legs, guarded by Jones, went to his left, and called on a foul by Coco Ramasamy. So, it is going to be Trenton who retains possession of the ball. Thomas Munoz asking if it's going to be a shooting foul. Looks like the ref just signaled 2 shots, and they are signaling 2 shots. So Trenton in the bonus, which means that they've had so many fouls that even though that wasn't a shooting foul, they now go up to the line for 2. So very crucial now. South has to stay away from fouling. They can't just not go for shooting fouls anymore. They can't foul in general, because if they do, even though Kadir Dixon just missed that first, we've seen the ability free throw-wise from this Trenton team, and it's a big opportunity for them if they can continue to draw these fouls and get to the line. Yeah,
the fouling has been a huge piece for why South has not been doing as good as they have in other games in this game. But it is important to note the sportsmanship is still there. South is still picking up every player. Cameron Jones just helped up Dixon, so it is still seeing good play.
Dixon makes his second 4-point game, 3 minutes and 10 seconds left. Crossland guarded very closely by Rasheed Barlow. Still trying to make a move. He goes up his entire way. He went up for the layup from the right side and got blocked on the way up. However, a whistle called, so it looks like it will be a foul on Trenton, which means here's an opportunity for South to get back those points, or that 1 point that they just lost. However, Crossland will have the opportunity for 2, so even an opportunity here to extend South's lead.
And you can hear, again, the bench, every single shot in the last couple of times that South has gone up. You can hear Trenton really trying to rattle everyone and get in their heads. It does seem like the first shots have been bad and the second shots have been up, but we'll have to see as he is preparing for his next one.
Crossland missed his first, partially because of that Trenton bench. His second is up and off the mark again. Rebound by the Tornadoes. A whistle called immediately. And they're going to say it's on Josiah Curriton. So now, like we talked about, the Tornadoes are in the bonus. They're going to get the opportunity to go to the line for two. Specifically, it's going to be, I think, Aive Ingram who's going to go to that line, and it is going to be him. So if he can convert on one or both of these free throws just over 3 minutes remaining in this fourth quarter, then once again we have a one-possession game.
Yeah, the fouls have been, we keep saying it over and over again because it just keeps happening. It's why they're not doing as hot and why it's now a 3-point game, like you just said.
Yeah, Ingram's first is good. Josiah Curriton goes over to that left side of the paint, so he'll be there ready for the rebound. If this second one does not convert, he's there alongside Quintus Crossland, Cameron Jones, Blake Amos Whitfield, and Coco Ramasamy. The second is good. It's a 2-point game. Here's Josiah Curriton, right-hand side. Just under 3 minutes now left in this game. Curriton, top of the key, goes to the left elbow, puts up a mid-range shot, can't convert. Rebound by Juan Sanchez for the Tornadoes. Here he comes, streaking down the left side, spinning once on Amos Whitfield, going up, converting the layup. We have a tie game here. 2 minutes and 40 seconds left, and we are at 60 apiece. You can hear that Trenton bench. Blake Amos Whitfield stuck in the backcourt. Is he going to get it off? He is going to get it off before that 7-second violation is called. Now it's going to be Coco Ramasamy in the corner. Curriton, top of the key, goes in with the layup himself and converts. And just like that, South answers. 2 minutes, 20 seconds left. Here is Aive Ingram. Right wing, he goes to the free throw line. He goes up, layup off the mark, and a rebound by South. Josiah Curriton has it. A whistle blown before we can get any farther in that possession. Still waiting on what it was. I think it was just a timeout. Looks to be, just a timeout from head coach Chris Giro. A crucial point in this game. He has the lead right now, but it's been closer now than it has been in the entire game. So what can he do to get that momentum back? What can his guys do to get that momentum back and keep going?
In the last couple of minutes, it just keeps being a 2-point game back and forth. And again, that tie was a big thing. You heard every single person cheering for Trenton, really trying to encourage their team to keep up that speed. And while South did then get their 2 points in, we will definitely have to see this timeout's going to be a big changer to see if Trenton can keep using their motivation like we've talked about before. They've been able to switch up their game whenever they need to. They can, decide on different plans. And South will have to be able to keep up with that because there is only about 2 minutes left in the game, and it's only a difference of 2 points.
Timeout about to end. Your local high school radio station is now available worldwide and on demand. Download 107.9 FM podcast from iTunes or on Libsyn.com. You can even listen to us here on Live 365. It's just another way for you to experience the great 108, 107.9 FM, WWPH in Princeton Junction. So it's going to be South who gets the ball. Quintus Crossland's going to be the one to inbound it from his own baseline. So they're going to have to go the entire length of the court in order to extend that momentum as we were talking about. He gives it to Blake Amos Whitfield right side. Still in the backcourt facing a full court press. Here's Crossland though on the other side, streaking, faking a pass, putting up an easy shot that can't convert, but Josiah Curriton's there for the putback. 64-60 is the score. South leads, minute 53 left in this game. Trenton now just a cluster of guys over near that logo. It's looking like they were trying to cause some confusion. Now they settle down. Juan Sanchez has it at the top of the key. Screen set for him by Kadir Dixon. Dixon now has it at that key. He drives up himself on that right side and converts. Once again, a 2-point game, a minute and a half left in this game. Here comes Curriton, lost the ball, dove for it. It's still loose. Now it's Juan Sanchez who puts up the game-tying layup from that left side as he streaked ahead, and a timeout aggressively called by Daryl Young. He kept pushing for it, eventually got it. You can hear this Trenton bench and these Trenton fans going crazy as once again we have a tie game. A minute and 21 seconds left here in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, this timeout is going to be important for Giro right now to make sure he can figure out how to address the team and make sure that this score can change in their favor if that's what they want to do. And same goes for Trenton. Right now it's a tie game, which means anything can happen. And additionally, we see Sanchez all over the court, even just in the last minute or so. He's been doing a lot. He's been slowing the ball down at the top when need be, and he's just been getting around and making some really great passes.
Let's talk a little bit about head coach Daniyal Young of the Tornadoes. He's been the head coach of this team since 2015, and this is easily, by far, his worst season as head coach in terms of record, right? But he's not letting that 5-16 record that Trenton has stop him. He's a state champion. His team made the state semifinals last year. He is a winner at heart, and you can see his attitude here, even with a team that hasn't exactly had as much success as they normally do. He's in it for every step of this way, and they're going to be in the Mercer County tournament, right? So he wants, just like we want South to have, he wants that momentum. Momentum is the word going into MCTs. So here come the Pirates. Tie game, 1:18 left. Coco Ramasamy passing that half-court line, giving it over to Josiah Kiriton, right wing. Kiriton over to Jones, top of the key. No movement yet. Tries to make a move on Kadir Dixon, still at the top of the key. Fires it over to Kiriton. Puts up a mid-range shot from the left side, can't convert. Coco Ramasamy, though, grabs the rebound. Amos Whitfield's three, short. Ball is now recovered by Juan Sanchez, wrestles it away, and a whistle is called. It looks like, where is this ball going? It looks like it is going to Trenton still. Seems to just be a timeout called by Daniyal Young. So we just had one, and now we have another, and that's that importance of saving these timeouts towards the end of the game, so you can continue to discuss strategy with your teammates, with your players and your teammates. Because listen, there's only so much time left, right? That momentum switches so quickly. You need to know how you're going to handle those momentum switches.
And like you said, with under a minute in a tie game, momentum not only is good for MCTs, but for this game in particular, it's going to be the biggest difference to what's going to happen, especially as South is just coming on the court. They seem confident. They seem like they know what they're doing. And Trenton is preparing to be out there too.
Yeah, Trenton now coming back on. 50.4 seconds remaining in this game. Still tied at 64. It is going to be Trenton who gets the ball first. Looks to be Ive Ingram who is going to inbound it from his own baseline. So they're going to have to go to the full length of the court. He gives it immediately to Juan Sanchez. He passes the half-court line now. 45 seconds remaining. Dribbles once to his left. Gives it to Ingram, left wing. Into Dixon. He goes up from the paint, and he draws a foul. Cameron Jones is going crazy. He is 100% positive that he did not foul Kadir Dixon there, but the refs whistled it, and Kadir Dixon is going to go to the line for two, and with just under 36 seconds remaining, an opportunity for Trenton to take their first lead of the entire game.
It's looking like a real story right now, especially if you look back at the first quarter and how far below they were. It was 22-9 is how they ended the first quarter, and right now it is a tie game, 35 seconds left, and they have the chance to be in the lead at the end of the game.
And it's very possible that Cameron Jones just got ejected from this game. He just threw off his jersey, threw off his shoes. He's on the bench now, replaced by Roshan Senthil, as Kadir Dixon's shot is good. Cameron Jones is just stalking around his own bench. No one knows if he's going to be back in the game yet. It seems like he just got ejected. So it's going to be Roshan Senthil playing instead of Jones for these remaining 36 seconds, as Dixon's second shot is smooth like butter through that net. 2-point lead for Trenton. 33 seconds remaining here in this game, as here comes Quintus Crossland passing that half-court line now. Tries to dribble behind his back, retains possession of the ball. Now it's stolen, still loose. Ramasamy had it. It went out of bounds. Oh my gosh, Konkonat Ramaswamy tried to pass that ball into Josiah Kiriton, who was in the paint, and it sailed out of bounds. The refs just pointed towards Trenton's side. It looks like it's going to go back to the Tornadoes, and with 20 seconds left in this game, Trenton has an opportunity to ice this following this timeout.
If South wants any chance of coming back right now, they're going to have to pull together and make sure that all of their passes are clean and all their shots are good, because in 20 seconds left, you are sure to see the Tornadoes playing a whole lot of defense, really man-on-man most likely, making sure that every single person is covered.
Coco Ramasamy fell to his knees after that pass sailed out of bounds. He's very upset with himself. However, this game is not over. There's no sight of Cameron Jones. He's actually, now I found him, he is picking up his jersey now. It looks like he'll put it back on. So maybe he wasn't ejected, but he is annoyed, and with only so little time left, who knows if he's going to get back in this game. His replacement, though, Roshan Senthil, is going to be guarding Aive Ingram as he's the one to inbound the ball for Trenton. He does so to Dixon. He sails a long outlet pass to Keyshawn Wharton, waiting on the other side and converting the layup. 14 seconds left, inbound from South, intercepted by the Tornadoes. And now they're just going to hold the ball with 6 seconds left. Seems like they're going to try and just dribble this game out. Now, with just 1.4 seconds remaining, South fouls. So they probably should have done that a little earlier. Sent the other team to the line, stop that clock, get possession back. However, they waited. That clock ticked down from 15 to 1 second before they did anything like that. And now with literally only a second left and down 4 points, South is going to need a miracle here.
A miracle for sure, and you can see everyone on Trenton is standing up now. Some are dancing. You know, they're excited for this win.
The game ends. South loses. Trenton with an awesome comeback victory. Well, awesome if you're them. They were down 22-9 after that first quarter. They end up winning 68-64. And in the last game of the regular season, we got an absolute battle as the two teams, despite all of that yelling, despite all of those fouls, despite everything we just watched now, shaking hands, that's a great sign of sportsmanship. South, though, is going to fall officially their record for this year, 7-15. Trenton will improve to 6-16, and an absolutely crazy, physical, emotion-filled game.
That is for sure. And even if you just look at the scores now, they don't seem so different. We knew it was going to be a close game coming in, but definitely after this now, we can see how close these teams are, and they were both competitive, but again, the sportsmanship was great. Everyone was a good team player for who they needed to be.
And one thing we're going to have to follow as we cover the end of this game is just where South went wrong. It seemed like they handled the full court press well. It seemed like they handled, for the most part, Trenton drawing those fouls. Maybe that's where they slipped up. Maybe Trenton was able to draw a couple more of those fouls towards the end of the game. It had stopped for a little bit. That's when South got their momentum back, but then it started again. And that seems to be kind of the point where South fell off and just couldn't keep up.
Especially after it was not just shooting fouls they were taking, but all fouls they were able to take a shot. That really is when South, you began to see how much those fouls were happening.
And those are those veteran instincts from head coach Darryl Young. He saw an opportunity. He saw that his team is good at free throws. He saw that South is pretty physical, and he saw that his team can draw those fouls. He saw that the refs were calling a lot, and he used that to his advantage, and that's probably the main reason why Trenton was able to win tonight.
Yeah, and as the teams are exiting and everyone's getting cleaned up, the vibe has mellowed out a little bit. But you can definitely still see Trenton celebrating. This was not necessarily an expected win for them.
So, yeah, a rough game, rough ending there for South as they fall to 7-15 on the year. They'll be back, though. They play in MCTs next. They're playing Princeton Day on Monday, so so stay tuned for that. We're going to, it was a rough game for South. It really was. However, they showed a lot of fight. They showed a lot of battle. And they're going to have a couple of days with Coach Shiro to deal with this loss before they head into MCTs. Trenton, on the other hand, can you get any more momentum going into MCTs than that? An epic comeback win. Strategy was incredible from head coach Darryl Young towards the end. They got everything they needed. They had their fans on their side, even in an away game. They were able to convert those free throws, even when even when the South fans were trying to distract them. It was a very impressive final 3 quarters from Trenton. That's why they were able to win tonight. Stay tuned, because in just a second, we're going to have John Bridgeford and Danielle Farrakey back on here for the post-game show. You're listening to the home of all WWP Sports, 107.9 FM, WWPH in Princeton Junction.
Monsters could be living under your child's bed or the bathtub. For a child with asthma, it can seem like monsters are everywhere, because something as innocent as a teddy bear could trigger their next asthma attack. But fear not, as there are simple ways that you can help, like putting stuffed animals in the freezer to kill dust mites and drying bat toys to prevent molds. Learn more at noattacks.org or call 1-866-NO-ATTACKS, because their next breath is in your hands. Brought to you by the EPA, Ad Council, and 107.9 FM, WWPH, in Princeton Junction.
Welcome back to 107.9 FM WWPH in Princeton Junction, the home of all WWPH sports. This is Daniyal F and John Bridgeford, just coming on with you guys live for a post-game talk for the South and Trenton. I gotta say, John, it's been a really intense game, back and forth. The score
Yeah.
ending, I believe, in 68 to 64.
Yeah, there's not a lot of words you can use to describe a game like this, but just wow.
I gotta say, it was
Wow.
devastating for
Yeah,
South.
that is a heartbreaking loss for South. And one thing I noticed is you got to foul your opponents in that scenario. When there's 15 seconds left, you're down by 4. You just gotta see what you can do just to foul them and see if you can force them to the line.
I definitely agree with you. We saw both teams using this tactic like throughout all quarters, especially after halftime. We saw South and Trenton, making a lot of fouls because whenever somebody scored on the other team, they would make a foul just so they could gain back some points and just count on their team member to shoot those 2 shots and get those 2 points back in. And for the most part, it did work out for both teams, but we did see a few slipping up from Trenton and South near the last 2 quarters. But that definitely was the play. If someone was on there, getting scoring, getting shots in, make a foul, get 2-pointers, layups,
Yeah.
that was the way to get back on the rack.
Yeah, and especially near the end of the game, you saw a lot of slip-ups from South, whether that be prematurely fouling or just in the case of Cameron Jones, who got a little bit overrun by his emotions and just took off his jersey, which I don't really think was the play there.
Definitely. I mean, it was kind of their demise once South started fumbling with the ball. They started tumbling with it a lot. We saw quite a few players fall. A lot of fouls been called. A lot of the players looked a little bit surprised, perplexed that a lot of fouls been called, and they were, like you said, Cameron Jones, getting back on the bench. We're very upset about that, and
Yeah. Yeah, final score reminder, 68 Trenton, 64 South.
Let's talk about some of the good plays we've seen on here. Adaptability and changing your play style
For sure.
over the whole game is something both teams experienced. I think that first quarter was kind of a test run for both teams, just to see which team what are these guys playing here tonight. What are we gonna do? How can we counter this?
Yeah,
And we
for
saw them
sure.
evolve a lot. They got way quicker after that first quarter, and they got way more aggressive. I want to say South started off in the first quarter, if you remember, pretty strong. They came in, scored twice, up to 4. Uh, you know, the Trenton, they returned with a 2-pointer as well, and it led on from there, back and forth, back and forth. A lot of aggression between both teams. The next quarter, Trenton switched up their offense and went a lot harder, so South had to up their defense, and it was still getting tough. South was not trying to let down. There were times where, they almost kind of let down their guard, almost got less aggressive. Coach Giro was there reminding him. And speaking of Coach Giro, we saw a lot of aggression from him tonight towards the coaches in the game, and he did lose it a little bit.
Yeah, even getting a technical at one point due to arguing with the refs over a call. But it is definitely very interesting, and you wonder how they're going to carry this a very negative momentum, unfortunately, with them being on a very tough losing streak, South. But
Absolutely.
yeah,
At the end of the third quarter, actually, I was doing a sideline report, and Coach Giro called a timeout, urging the players to come over, and he spoke to them very, strictly. The players had already experienced his, strong aggression towards the refs and yelling on the court. Everyone could hear it in the court. So it was kind of affecting the play of the players, and they were getting nervous. They were losing the ball. They were stumbling. He called them over. He talked to them. I heard them say, "Do not let my emotions alter your game styles. Keep your head in the game and just listen to my callouts." And that's some pretty quick thinking, pretty good thinking. Professionalism
definitely.
on Coach Giro's part. He knew he messed up. He knew he was, losing his head a little bit, but he bounced back quickly. He took care of his team. He kept his team in mind, and he got them with good on plays.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is his second season as the head coach compared to the coach of Trenton, who has been coaching this team who has been coaching this team for a very long time, even making it to a state regional. But that's where experience really just comes into play. And unfortunately, yeah, South just had so many opportunities, especially in the fourth, whether to oh, can we take advantage of this miss pass or just or even try to be more physical because I feel like the refs were definitely blowing the whistle a lot more near the end of the game, and if they could have like taken advantage of that and try to get more calls towards their side, it would have probably been a win for South.
Definitely see what you're saying. And speaking of, finding opportunities, I want to talk about Coach Young for Trenton, and his calls were actually pretty well done throughout the whole entire game. And I did hear him at one point, talking specifically to his players and kind of directing traffic for them, placing them where he thinks they should be, where they can counter South, and have patience when they get the ball, so they can keep the ball and shoot it and get South. South was stepping up their defense and blocking and getting the ball out on them, but that worked out in their favor. Whenever Trenton had the ball, they just wanted it out of their hands.
For sure.
So, keeping their patience for Trenton and shooting at the right time definitely worked out for them. They did score a lot of 2-pointers and layups, and that's what made the majority of their total score of 68. We saw a few 3-pointers being thrown around by both teams, but not a lot of them were able to connect. We saw Ramasamy make a good 3-pointer in the third quarter. He did do well on that. And speaking of Ramasamy and Whitfield especially in the third and fourth quarter, at least in the beginning of the fourth quarter, were making a lot more creative passes. I don't know if you caught that, John.
Yeah,
Ramasamy
I
and Whitfield kind of confusing the Trenton players, trying to look a certain way, but passing to his right on his side, and making that shot. So that's a bit of creativity getting involved in trying to rack up those points.
Yeah, another thing, this might just be a little not really out of the player's control, but I feel like if South's bench and just like fans just got more involved, I feel, because when Trenton tied the game, you heard just everyone that was on Trenton's side go crazy. Their bench, their coach, their fans in the stands. If South could have like reciprocated that energy, I feel like that may have made the game at least a lot closer than
Absolutely, that's a good
4-point
point that
game.
you bring up. People don't realize, like, the fans and the crowd are kind of also what make up the game as well. It, creates the type of energy in the room, and it does help the players feel more motivated, feel more, you know, energized in, doing their plays, and feel more confident in what they do, right? We saw a big crowd from parents and players and kids, students from Trenton's side, and,
For sure.
rumbling their feet and, making sounds with their mouth, whenever South was getting up and making foul shots just to mess them up. Now, we saw a few people from the crowd of South doing this as well for Trenton, but not as many. So I do think what you're saying there is true. If the South crowd energy was higher, more people were there to support, we might have had an overall, better sportsmanship, better spirit in the room.
Yeah, but I really can't just stop thinking about that last 15 seconds. You have to try to foul Trenton as soon as possible. Since if they miss their free throws and you get a bucket on the other side, you probably have like around like maybe 9 seconds to work in with when you're only down 2. So it's definitely a play that you have to
And
think
during
about.
during the last few seconds of the fourth quarter, we saw some. I already saw some of the kind of defeat in the South players' faces.
Yeah.
They were already kind of perplexed by the calls that the referees were making, and they already knew that they weren't getting out of this. Winning. I even saw Ramasamy when he was handing off the ball. He just kind of just pushed it and let it bounce on the floor a little bit. So there wasn't a lot of energy, wasn't a lot of good motion coming from the South players at the end, and that's really what happens when there's not a lot of sportsmanship, a lot of stress going on between the players. Uh, and it's important, for them to actually, keep their cool and try to, stay in the game. But near the end, it's understandable how they would have kind of lost that spirit.
Yeah, definitely. Especially since you definitely saw like especially in the game like yeah, like you were saying, just a lot of South's players sort of look a little defeated. And unfortunately, though, that's all the time we have for right now. You are listening to the home of all WWP sports, 107.9 FM, WWPH in Princeton Junction.